So here to close the show with us is Jeff Goodman, a licensed real estate salesperson with Halstead Property. Jeff has leveraged his business by collaborating with the well-known historic guide Joyce Gold to create Rediscovering New York, a series of 2-hour walking tours that give participants the opportunity to learn the history behind their favorite neighborhoods. And then, the best part yet, the tours are even followed by a networking mixer.
Nice.
Welcome to the show, Jeff.
Hello.
Good morning, David. Good morning, Morgan.
So we got to hear more about this. What are the tours? How do we get on them?
Well, you can get on my mailing list. They're by invitation.
Oh.
And what they do is they take people on journeys through different neighborhoods in the city. Joyce is an amazing urban historian, and she's a great storyteller. And she talks about the history of the neighborhood. We walk around, we see things, and she's wonderful.
Well, that's going to be
I put the event on, so it's great.
I was going to say it's a little cold right now for walking, although Saturday was pretty. So is it going on right now, or are you waiting for it to warm up?
I have outside tours from March through November, not to stay dark because it is a promotion event. I actually have an annual tour of Grand Central, which we did a week ago. And I had 80 people
I
at that
love
tour.
Grand Central. Do you guys do all the neighborhoods at your Upper West Side, right?
East.
Upper East, oh, excusez-moi.
But that's not even... Upper East Side's like the cheapest neighborhood now in New York or something. Well, I don't know. You would know, but it's not what it used to be.
Ask the expert over here.
It depends where on the Upper East Side, along the Gold Coast.
I'm not going to admit that on live
If you're by
television,
Central
but
Park, it's very expensive.
I wish. I'm not.
But prices have gone up significantly by the 2nd Avenue subway corridor since that opened up.
Yeah.
It's good value.
So how do people, by discovering their neighborhood and then networking, what type of experience does that create?
They have an adventure. They learn things that they would not have known. Sometimes I have people who have never been on any tours who say, oh, I really should find out more about my hood, and they come on the neighborhood tours. They're historically focused, but they also have a little bit of real estate peppered into them. And they're a lot of fun.
Well, and it must be a great way for people to meet each other, to meet other people in their neighborhood. I mean, it's sort of amazing that you could live in these huge buildings and not know literally your next door neighbors.
That's far too common these days.
I know.
Yes, but actually most of the people who come on the tours are people in my network. I don't advertise them, they're by invitation. So most of the people who come are not people who live in the neighborhood. Excuse me.
Oh.
They're people who know me, people who are interested in my tours, or people who know me bring on the tours because they've expressed interest to it in the neighborhood.
So for our viewers who are watching today, and if someone says, my God, this is amazing, I really want to be a part of it, what's the next step? Do they need to go to your website?
They can call me or email me, and I'll be happy to put them on my invite list.
And your contact information's on your website?
Yes.
Great.
So, super idea, urban history, and real estate. I've never heard those two go together either.
Yeah.
Well, I met Joyce at a speed networking event a number of years ago, and she told me that she did these tours not just for the public, but for special events. And I have a big background in advertising and media. I did that before real estate. And I went home and I woke up and I thought, wow, this is a great idea. So I actually modeled the tour series originally after Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom on Channel 2. It's an adventure that people would not have had I not provided the venue for them to come and do it. And since then, it's taken on other components. I get to advertise it to my network to show them that I work in these neighborhoods. People who are interested in the neighborhoods will come if they're brought. And then there's a networking component, which is also fantastic, which has blossomed into something really big.
What are you seeing more now with young people? Because there's various stories that some millennials are starting to leave the major cities around the U.S. because they're starting to have children, and being able to afford a big enough apartment for those kids is not necessarily what every millennial can afford, and they're leaving. Are you seeing that trend in your business, or is it because it's New York City, everyone's always coming?
I think it's because it's New York City. Everyone wants to be here. You know, one thing that's happened not just in New York but demographically across the whole country is there was a certain generation that went out to the suburbs because they thought they were creating safe spaces for their kids. But parents who grew up as kids in those environments thought, wait a minute, I was bored, I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. So now, not just in New York but in other cities, we see a big return of people who are now parents who want to live in cities, who want to be able to walk to restaurants and to have their kids grow up in an environment where they're connected to people as opposed to a gated community or in a suburb where you have to take a cab to the train even to get any entertainment.
We did not grow up, you and I, in cities.
No, I mean, I did live in Miami when I was a little kid, but Isn't Winter Haven a bustling place in Florida?
But even in Miami, you don't. I mean, you take a car everywhere.
Of course.
It's not. Miami's not a walking city.
No,
Also,
it's not.
100 and humid.
Yeah, well, it's not 100, but it's in the 90s. You know how our weather is in Florida.
Yeah, I can see it both ways. I mean, it's sometimes when I see people coming down the elevator in the middle of the winter in a city, and they've got like the dog is wrapped up, the babies are wrapped up, they're wrapped up, they're got the thing, and I feel like, oh my God, that looks horrible.
Why are we here?
But I guess you have to do that if you're putting them in the car anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Guess.
I don't know. If I ever have children, they will grow up in the city, so it'll be a different
City children. Maybe they'll go to the Dwight School and create a robotic hand. So, Jeff, let's talk about Jeff Goodman, the businessman. So you use these tours to drive sales.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
They're a branding impact more than anything else. Very few people will come on a tour and say, oh, thanks, because you invited me on this tour, I want to do business with you right away. But what it does is it enhances the relationship I have with people who are already part of my network. Because in the world of networking and establishing relationships, you don't just have quick hits. You do things to have people rely upon you to provide them with something and to get to know you, like you, and also trust you. But it's been great. I get referrals from people who don't even come on the tours, but they respond to the emails that they get from me saying they always wanted to do it, but they can't come.
So this is what's really interesting to me about your business model, is that you are taking a very people-focused, hands-on, personal approach to your business, to real estate. And I'm thinking about a couple of major companies. I know that Goldman is invested in real estate, technology online. There's a couple different, well, there's more than a couple. There's a lot of different real estate online apps or ways, to go on to find if you want a house, you want to rent something, real estate agents working online. So like every industry, the technology is affecting it. So do you find that your sort of almost old-fashioned approach of actually dealing with people one-on-one is better for creating those real estate relationships as opposed to using an app?
Absolutely. Real estate agents are in the people business, and what we do is multidimensional, and being able to provide that level of service but also expertise is something that a computer program can't do. Zillow's not going to tell you how much you may love a particular home, but someone who has the experience of knowing a neighborhood, being able to see things through your eyes and help you decide what's great for you as a buyer, are important things that a computer program really can't do. And negotiating, of course. Zillow's not going to negotiate on your behalf.
Yeah, that's true.
So Jeff Goodman, a licensed real estate salesperson and the creator of a series of walking tours called Rediscovering New York with your friend Joyce Gold, correct?
Yes.
Got all that right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, David. Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you.